You can buy property right here in San Diego, sight unseen, for pennies on the dollar. Buy our books and our tapes. Attend our weekend workshops for only... Just kidding, guys. This isn't that kind of video. We have been experiencing a very interesting trend over the last few years, and it's probably one you are pretty curious about too. Lots of people are buying both homes to live in and investment properties right here in San Diego, many times sight unseen. And why not? You got modern technology to help you out, a super experienced agent, and some upfront education, and you can do it too. No books, tapes, or workshops required. Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lenore Anderson, half of a father-daughter realtor team right here in San Diego County. And in this video, we're going to talk about buying property in an area that you don't currently live in, sight unseen. So let's get to it. There are some videos out there about the steps involved and what to look out for when you're buying sight unseen. Do you really want to follow someone's script or checklist? I feel like it might be easier to hear what other folks have done and are doing. That way you can learn from their experience and then you're able to move ahead with confidence. Buying property isn't a one-size-fits-all kind of checklist thing. So let's talk about a couple of real-life, recent situations that we've been able to help our clients with when it comes to buying property here in San Diego. Perhaps they're folks just like you who are priced out of the market where you currently live and are starting to realize that San Diego's market has a long history of strong and steady appreciation. So why not invest in America's finest city, or as we like to call it, Real Estate Disneyland. Our most recent closed sale was for a newly married couple who live up in the Bay Area. They were first-time home buyers who were unfortunately priced out of the market in San Jose. They had vacationed down here in San Diego a few times and just fell in love with that North County coastal area. They knew prices were not going to come down anytime soon where they lived. They realized that they could buy their first home in San Diego. It was very doable. Once the wife finishes up school in a few years, they could actually move down here. They flew down, they met up with us, we spent a Saturday, we toured about a half dozen homes that they had picked out, and we even wrote an offer on their favorite from the day. Now, unfortunately, another buyer offered a lot more money, and they flew back home. They were pretty bummed out that they had missed out on such a beautiful home. But the next day they called and they asked us about this new listing in Oceanside. It looked like it checked off all of their boxes from what they could tell online. Lyle and I hurried over to that property and shot a full walkthrough video. Not the kind of advertising video that realtors will put out. This one was way too long. It captures all of the nooks and crannies. The good and the bad stuff showed up. The kind of video you'd turn off unless you were actually considering buying this home. Our buyers fell in love. They researched the community and they checked out all the overhead 3D maps to get a feel for the location, the neighborhood, even the drive time and the proximity to the husband's future workplace. Everything was matching up to what they wanted. So they asked us to please write up an offer that the seller couldn't refuse.
I'm going to make them an offer he can't refuse.
We did. And they did not want to miss out on another great home. And they were actually concerned about the risk of getting priced out of the market down here in San Diego too. Knowing that there was going to be competition and other offers, they went in with the right price and the right terms, and they were successful. They bought a beautiful turnkey single-family home in Oceanside for $710,000. It's a 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath house in a master plan community with a clubhouse, tennis courts, tot lots, community pool and spa, you name it. It was perfect. With a tad of cleanup and some fresh appliances, this house is going to rent for $3,300 a month or more, and that covers their mortgage payment, and it's creating cash flow for their family until they can move in. Right before we closed on the property, I asked, what is a home like this going to be worth up where they live in their neighborhood? They said $1.4 million, double what it is down here. Buying this home and renting it out until they move was a super smart and strategic move on their part. Great job, guys. Another recent transaction was with one of our investor clients. His plan was to move up to a bigger and better property with the proceeds from a 1031 exchange sale. We had helped him and a couple of his partners sell a rental home with a granny flat. They had owned this place for over 27 years. It's right along the estuary in South Del Mar. So get this. He calls us up and he says he only has 17 days left in his 45-day time frame. After a sale, 45 days is what the IRS will allow for you to identify a 1031 exchange. Oh, and one other tidbit. He's leaving the country. He will not be back in time to complete the sale. So we told him we're on it. We searched through the San Diego MLS inventory for 2 to 4 units as fast as possible and discovered the perfect duplex to complete his exchange. Our client was on the hook for over $100,000 in capital gains taxes. This was a real find for him. Otherwise, he would owe the IRS just a little bit of pressure, right? So with just a few days to spare on that 45-day time frame, we presented a solid cash offer with a quick close time to that listing agent. Using some expert negotiations and really good communication, our client beat out 12 other offers. We found him a duplex that was built in 1988, and that is good for San Diego. Most multi-units were built in the 70s or earlier around here. It had an identical configuration on both sides. The attached units are under one roof. They are spacious, 3-bedroom, 2-bath townhomes, each with a 2-car garage and a private backyard. Plus, this property had ample off-street parking. Our client achieved a higher cash flow position. He reset his depreciation schedule, and he was able to defer over $100,000 in capital gains taxes. This was a solid exchange for him. The property was actually due for rent raises, which would give him an even better GRM or gross rent multiplier. Plus, all of this was accomplished while our client was out of the country. Like that couple from San Jose who bought their first home, neither of our clients saw the property that they purchased in person. They relied on videos, FaceTime, experts for their inspections, and thank goodness they trusted in our experience and expertise. Oh, and I almost forgot, we closed this transaction for our client in only 14 days. Pretty awesome story all the way around. Right now, we're working with another couple who moved from New York City a few years back, and they ended up buying a condo where they live in right now in Carmel Valley. They have decided it is time to sell the condo that they've been renting out the last few years in downtown New York. It's less than 1,000 square feet, and they plan on doing a 1031 exchange too. The proceeds are going to go to buy a 2 to 4 unit property here in San Diego. So before we started shopping for a property, we talked. We helped them get their pre-qualification done for financing. See, it is crucial that they knew what their budget was going to be. Now, that's based on the proceeds from the sale of that New York condo, so we now have a target price. The goal is to find them something that works within their budget and that cash flows from day one of ownership. This 1031 exchange is going to help them leverage their purchase dollar into more units, and they're going to get a better cash flow position. We've been answering all of their questions, also sending them properties so they can get a feel for what it's actually selling here in San Diego. We're teaching them all about the market conditions and just general investing in the San Diego market. Obviously, they are not familiar with any of the areas or even what our marketplace is like. Now, they are getting ready to close on that condo out in New York, and we're ready to start shopping for property in earnest. We are so excited to help them with their next adventure to find and buy the right property here in San Diego. Want to learn how to use the gross rent multiplier formula to evaluate an income property? Or are you curious about learning more about the 1031 exchange? Check out the videos that we have on the screen now. And if you'd like a free copy of our San Diego Apartment Investors Market Report, be sure to click that link down below in the description. And no, sorry, we do not actually have books or tapes or weekend workshops, none of that stuff. Instead, we actually practice what we preach. If you're ready to talk about your goals, give us a call, shoot us a quick text, or an email. We are not secret agents. We answer our own phones, and we really do look forward to talking with you and finding out how we can help your family. See you on the next video.